Hi everybody, Laker here with Roblox, and today I'd like to talk with you about the Transform tool in Studio. The Transform tool is an all-in-one building tool designed to make building in Roblox a precise, convenient, and easy experience. It's an alternative to the classic build tools such as Move, Scale, and Rotate. So let's see what it has to offer. Here I am in Studio. I have a basic part in my workspace. I'm going to click on the Model tab, make sure the Transform tool is selected, and then click on the part. And already you'll notice that there are several new handles around this part. So let's start off looking at how to resize it. And to do that, it's very simple. Just drag on one of these rectangular corners, these rectangular handles. You can drag the part any direction you want. And we even show you how big the part is with a little display on the side, showing you how big it is in studs. As you can see, you can also drag on a corner to resize the part in 2 dimensions at once. I can go up and down too. Now you can also rotate with this tool. So notice how there's these 3 handles on the side. Those represent the 3 axes of rotation. If I click on one of them and drag, I can start rotating the part around in certain increments. And so if you notice that there's a circle of ticks around the edge of the part. If I drag on the inside of that circle, the part will rotate in 22.5 degree increments. That's half of 45 degrees, so you can get really nice and clean rotations this way. If I drag on the outside of the circle, I actually drag in 1 degree increments. So I can get a really precise rotation if I need something that's very fine, that's not just a flat, like 90 degrees. And in both states, you'll notice we show you how many degrees it is, so you can get exactly the number that you want. So let's talk about dragging and translating. So to move a part around, you just simply click and drag where you want it to go. Kind of like the old classic dragger. The main difference here is that this part is locked to the plane that it's on. So let me show you what I mean. I have a little wall built over here. Now with the classic dragger, if you just simply dragged a part over a wall, it would try to pop on top. But with the Transform tool, it'll actually stay on that plane that it's bound to. So it's never going to try to pop over parts like that. Let's say I wanted to fill in this little gap right here with this block. All I have to do is drag on this up handle, moves the part up and down. And now, if I drag the part, it's still locked to the plane that it was on. It's just a little bit higher now. It's a very simple matter, just to fill that in. You notice that there's a little shadow on the ground here that helps you see where the part is if it's elevated off the ground. So you'll know if it's against the wall or if it's slightly inside it. Or if you can't see it at all, then it's pretty much right inside this wall. Now what's really neat about the Transform tool is that you're not just restricted to the base plate to determine what plane a part drags on. So I'm going to drag this part out. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. There we go. So now we have a slanted surface. So what if I wanted to start building on this surface? So I want to just take this part. But I want to drag this part not over the base plate, but I want to drag it over this surface. Well, you click on this tool in the upper left-hand corner. This is the plane selector. I click on it. Notice how whenever I go over a face of a part, that highlights that face. And if I click, I'll actually use that face as the new plane. So you notice how these grid lines are slanted now. If I drag this part, it's always in relation to this sloped surface. Now if I wanted this part to actually snap to that surface, all I have to do is just shift click on it. And now it's snapped to that surface, and we can drag along it. Very easy. This is very useful for, let's say, if you have a very odd angle for your part. Like let's say, it's at 7 degrees. Kind of a funky angle. But it's a very simple matter. Just to drag a part over that, and now it snaps to it. So any kind of angle surface you have, you can very easily drag parts along it. Now one more part I want to explain about the plane tool is that let's say I am not on the grid here. Let's change it to 1/5 studs. And I resize it so it's not exactly on the grid. So you notice how these studs don't properly align with this one stud grid. What if I wanted this part exactly on this corner over here? Well, I could change it to the 1/5 stud and slowly and carefully try to align it perfectly. Let's say I wasn't even on the 1/5 stud. What if I was off the grid? I was just at some random increment. Aligning this part with this edge would be very tricky. But what we can do with the plane tool, so if I click it again, notice how along with the surface, the blue shaded area, there's also a yellow cursor highlighting over corners. What that cursor does is it designates the origin of the plane, which is to say the 0, 0, 0 coordinate of it. If I click on that corner now, notice how the overlay grid is now perfectly aligned with that corner. If I drag a part, now that part is on that grid, and we can very easily align it right up. So it's nice and flush. And if I wanted to put something on this other side, let's say I copy and pasted this part, I want this to align with that edge, all I have to do is click the plane tool again, and select this corner as the origin. And now the part will snap there just fine. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really hope you enjoy the transform tool. We're really excited about it here at Roblox, and we think you'll be able to build incredible things in Roblox with it. So, it's been Laker with Roblox. Thanks for watching.